Welcome friends to the 2026 Lincoln Aviator. We have some subtle new updates to talk about, but as always, stay tuned until the end of this video where I'll be sharing with you how you can save a substantial amount of money with new vehicles, and I'll also share with you some free resources that you can utilize when negotiating on new vehicles. All right, let's get started here. The 2026 Lincoln Aviator, it's going to include the hands-free open on approach functionality for the power lift gate. Okay, so when you just walk up to the lift gate, it should be able to sense you, and it's a completely hands-free operation. All right, and the automatic lane change capability that has now been added to aviators with the Blue Cruise 1.5 technology. And finally, the connectivity package, it's now going to include 4 years of Wi-Fi hotspot as standard. And a special thank you to Car and Driver for compiling together all of these updates. The only other update regarding the 2026 Aviator is in regard to the price. I'm pleased to say that the entry-level Premier trim and the top-of-the-line Black Label, the prices have actually gone down for 2026. The Premier now starts at $56,910. That's over $2,300 cheaper than last year. However, the mid-level Reserve, the price has gone up by about $200. So not a big deal, but would have been nice if the Reserve also got a substantial price decrease. And the Black Label at $85,380, that's your top of the line trim. That's gone down by a little over $2,000 compared to last year. And keep in mind, 2025 is the year that the Aviator got its refresh, and along with that came a ton of updates. I did a separate video talking about that. But yeah, amongst the 3 trim levels, I actually do think the entry-level Premier is the best value proposition. All models come with the very powerful twin turbocharged V6 engine, putting out 400 horsepower and 415 pounds-feet of torque. Does 0 to 60 in about 5.6 seconds. But even that entry-level Premier, it comes with heated and ventilated front seats, adaptive suspension. You get the acoustic laminated front door glass, which is like that thicker kind of double pane glass being used on the front side windows. All great things to see. However, standard, these vehicles come with rear-wheel drive. If you want to add all-wheel drive, that's going to be $2,500. Quite expensive. And personally, me, I just added the Premier 2 package, which is an additional $2,530. It gets you things like the pano moonroof, wireless charging, and a few other things. It's a little confusing the way Lincoln has their website and their options trims kind of laid out. I believe it already comes with like the 360 camera system. So the Premier 2, it's not adding a whole lot of things on top. You can honestly skip it. I believe even the regular Premier 1 package comes really well equipped. But I just added the Premier 2, and my build came out to be $65,660. However, you are able to get a upgraded audio system, a Revel 14 speaker. If you want to add that, you have to add the Premier 3 package. So now you're at $69,160. But keep in mind, this Revel system, it's not their top of the line system. That's reserved for the Black Label. It's like a 28 speaker system. Honestly, it does sound incredible, but I don't think the Black Label is worth like $85,000, $90,000. It does come with even more incredible features like air glide suspension, but you know, I honestly just like the way a regular Premier Aviator drives. I'm really satisfied with just that experience. So I think keeping the price in the mid-60s is the best thing to do. And of course, I don't recommend anyone pay full sticker price. So as promised, at the beginning of this video, here's how you can save a substantial amount of money with new vehicles. You can reach out to AutoCompanion, who is one of the largest car brokers in the United States. He has several partner dealerships throughout the country, but his main dealerships are in Washington, D.C. and in California. He does offer nationwide shipping. I've had 2 vehicles shipped, never had an issue, but that is something you have to pay extra for. So it would be ideal if you could pick up locally at DC or in California or at one of his other partner dealerships. And he has many makes and models that he carries, like Audi, BMW, Mercedes, Lexus, etc. Lincoln is not one of the brands that he carries, but on things like BMW and Mercedes, he's got like 11-12% off on popular vehicles like the X5, the X7s. Truly some of the best prices for sure in the entire country. Same thing with the GLE, the GLS, 11-12% off there, 10-11% off on various Lexus vehicles like the RX and the TX. And these are deals and discounts that you can get without having to haggle or negotiate. These are already pre-negotiated for you, so that's huge. But this is a Lincoln video, and if you're interested in buying a Lincoln, I also have a free resource brought to you by AutoCompanion in the form of a free leasing calculator. This is an extremely powerful tool because it shows you the interest rate of a lease, the residual values, and the incentives that you can get in your local zip code. So whether you are paying cash or financing, you should still utilize this calculator to see those incentives. And again, this is totally free to use. And since this is a leasing calculator, should you lease the Lincoln? Honestly, yes, I think you should. Lincoln is not exactly known for their stellar resale value. These things do kind of crash and burn in value, like with most luxury products. So I think leasing it is the way to go. And I think 2025 model years, as of right now, during the recording of this video, that would be the best model to go with to save the maximum amount of money. There's also some better programs with the 2025s. Like right now, even on Lincoln's front page, they're advertising like 0% financing for 48 months, no payments for 90 days, things of that nature. Obviously, the best finance deals and the lease deals, they are reserved for people with perfect credit. But yeah, it's the 2025s that are getting such deals and programs. But even with 0% financing, I still think the lease is good because I ran numbers for a state like Pennsylvania. The interest rate of the lease, it's around 3% for a 2025 Aviator Premier. There's also like $1,000 in incentives. And with no money down, once again, assuming you have perfect credit, your payment is like $835 a month for a high tax state like Pennsylvania. But I did assume 10% off the MSRP. Can you get that? Well, of course, I showed you AutoCompanion and he's offering like 11, 12% off on a lot of the popular luxury vehicles. But this is you negotiating on your own. Can you achieve 10% off? Honestly, I think so, depending on where you live and how many dealerships you approach, and also depending on the way that you approach. If you just walk into the dealership, obviously they're not going to honor such a deal or a discount. You have to do more research than that. Go on a website like Car Gurus and see how long the vehicle has been sitting on the lot and email the general manager of the dealership directly. Don't talk to any of the sales associates. Use AutoCompanion's free leasing calculator, organize the numbers, and then send them an email with the numbers and the final price that you're willing to pay to the general manager and have them approve the deal before even walking into a dealership. That's how you use AutoCompanion's free resource. But if anybody asks where you get your numbers from, you don't have to mention AutoCompanion. Just tell them you got your numbers from a generic online calculator. That's the best way to negotiate. And you can also see the invoice price of a vehicle on websites like JD Power. And you can see that on a 2026 Aviator, there's less than a $3,000 difference between MSRP to invoice. So getting 10% off, that is obviously well below invoice. But on a 2025, they should easily be able to honor that. I've seen on some dealership websites, they're just naturally taking off $6,700 off the price. That's on a $75,000 vehicle, so not quite 10%, but still, dealerships are motivated to get rid of the 2025 Aviators. Other than that, if you don't want to deal with haggling with the dealership and you just want a great deal, of course, you can reach out to AutoCompanion. No, he doesn't have Lincoln, but you know, on something like a Lexus TX, you can lease those things for under $800 a month, so cheaper than the Aviator, and it's a massive SUV. So the TX from Lexus, genuinely one of the best three-row luxury SUV deals for sure, and it's the most practical as well. AutoCompanion also has things like the Infiniti QX60, that's sometimes a good deal. And he also has like loaner car deals, like a Mercedes GLS can lease out for around $900 a month as well. So that's another big SUV to consider. So that's why I share with you resources like AutoCompanion, so you have more knowledge, more flexibility, more options available to you. You can see how to truly dissect a car deal for yourself. And that's really what AutoCompanion is trying to do. He's trying to bring more transparency into the car buying world. But if you're going to use AutoCompanion service to actually buy a vehicle, he does charge a broker fee. Obviously, his fee is well worth it to get substantial discounts. But he did say that if you go on his website and if you fill out an inquiry form, he did say that he'll take some money off of his fee if you mention my channel. So all their information will be down below in the description box. If you found value with this content, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you again for watching. Take care and goodbye.